Hi, I'm gonna talk really fast because I don't have enough memory space on the phone. So the last video stopped as I was explaining about my adoptive father heart surgery, which is an example of this type of attack. Um, so I kept him positive at all times. I tried to get him involved to draw his attention and to try to focus him on solving or doing things, fi- for finding himself involved in certain things because he needed his mind to be on positive vibes because they use your mind to manifest your death and the mind of those around you. This is very important. For example, when he went into the surgery room, basically for me it was extremely hard because I understood that this is a critical moment. I understood that he can not come out from that room, and that will be the last time I see him. So of course it was a struggle for me because emotionally I wanted to connect to him, to tell him, he brought me up, so I wanted to tell him, I love you, and so, as any human being would do. But on the other hand, I understood in my mind that if I tell him this is like I say goodbye, and that will trigger in his subconscious mind thoughts of death. So for this reason, I didn't say any of this. I struggled. I kept it in myself, and I just draw his attention to other things. I said, I will wait for you right here to come out, and you will come out because we have things to do in the afternoon. I need you. I need you to help me with something. I need you to do this. So I put in his mind the idea that he has things to do, that he's busy. He cannot think of death, you know. So drawing him into something to pull him out of the idea of death is important. But it's very hard to do. I can tell you that when that door closed, I broke up completely. And I prayed to God and I said, if you just bring him, if you want to take him now, at least bring him out one more time so I can tell him I love him. At least that, because I need to say this, but I just didn't want to say it before the surgery in front of him because I didn't want him to think of possibility of death, you know. Anyhow, he went fine through the surgery. He was fine, but again, they use the manifesting power, so it's important. That thing doesn't seem important, but it was critical for him to go into that room with a specific positive focus mindset, not thinking of death. This is very important. So if you have somebody next to you that is going through these attacks, you need to pull him out. You need to find ways to pull him out. You need to learn to play some sort of role, not be yourself, not show your emotions, because you cannot afford to inflict emotions on him. But you need to pull him out of emotions so you can actually uh, uh, focus his manifesting power on positive outcome. This is very important, that you need to bring him back. I need you here. I need you here. I need you to help me with something. This is important. This is very important. This God showed me to talk about this specifically because this some people need this information. So again, focus them on positive and focus yourself on positive to make sure that they don't use the manifesting power of you or of them, or because but between the two of you it's a connection, they will use both of you connecting each other. Yeah, so this is important. Okay, I'm gonna move on and I'm gonna talk about uh, other elements of healing and fighting in this phase. One is garbage. Garbage is being used for witchcraft. They do witchcraft on garbage. Garbage carries your elements of identity, and many of the important things, even food, which is still in your body sometimes, it can be found in your garbage. Personal items can be found in your garbage. There are lots. It's a lot of witchcraft done on garbage in all of this convent work. So this is very important. If you are in this phase, you need to keep the garbage away with you. You don't give garbage to people who you don't trust. You ask guidance, God will show you who does witchcraft on your garbage, and you don't give it to them. Ideally, you burn it, because burning it in fire, then that releases the spirit attachments on the garbage. But it can also help you, because during this time of attacks of glamour and on upper chakras, which focus on your mind power and on your manifesting power, the garbage, which carries usually totally different type of sorcery attack, totally different type of spirit attacks, usually lower chakras spirits attacks, can ground that energy. So you will receive guidance from God in this phase. Do not throw out garbage. Either that the attack is too strong and you need a way to ground, and that garbage being present will ground some of the energy being sent to you on your upper chakras. So you need the garbage next to you. Even in my spiritual journey, as I was in my car, God said, don't throw the garbage away, keep it next to you. So, and at the same time, the garbage on which was done witchcraft can become a weapon. For example, God said, when you get out of Nuremberg, you throw the garbage there, because this is karma delivery. And all the sorcery goes back to them. You made karma enacted as you arrived there. You saved Lucky. Both of you got saved. Now you deliver karma. You throw all the garbage that you got in the last few weeks, and you now throw it here. Yeah. So it can work both ways. You need to understand this. And you need to ask guidance, because I cannot give you general examples. This is just general description, but it's not specific for each case. Again, it helps you ground, so you might need to keep it with you for a while, but it can also help you deliver karma if you throw it in specific places where karma needs to be delivered, not because innocent people don't need to get sorcery from your garbage, so you need guidance. Okay, money is energy transfer, so be careful from whom you accept money. Be careful on what you spend the money. If somebody can put certain attachments on money, if for example you buy food and you eat that food, that goes into your system, that alters the DNA clearing and healing. Yeah, so you need to understand money is energy transfer. You need to be very worrisome. Who do you get money from, and what exactly you buy of those money? Food and clothes are most important things, and this you can only buy with clean money. What does it mean, clean money? Money given as good deed, from heartfelt, wholeheartedly. Then divine grace is bestowed upon both you and the one who gives you the money. And that's a healing for both of you, regardless if you're connected or not. It doesn't matter, even if it's a stranger, but he comes to give you money to help you. But it's extremely important that he gives you the money wholeheartedly, not gives you the money and then slanders you, or gives you the money and then feels sorry and thinks evil of you, because all this darkness comes after people who try to help you, and they pull them into spoiling the chance of receiving redemption and divine grace from God for a good deed, and try to plant ideas in their head. She didn't deserve the money. She should have worked. She should have done this. She did this. She said that. They do this on their mind. And this is how they lose the divine grace. Even if they made a good gesture, it doesn't count as a good deed, because it had ill intentions even after he gave the money. And God will tell you, don't use this money for food or clothes, because these are tampered with. Because that individual accepted ill ideas put in his mind. So for this reason, he loses the divine grace, and you cannot use the money. What you do with those money, you can give them as charity, or you can buy stuff which you don't use usually. You cannot use the stuff you buy with money that have been tampered with. Yeah, it's extremely important. Yeah. Now, elements of identity. Sorcery you need to understand that, I don't know how to say this in English exactly, the pee, literally the pee, when you pee, and also the, I don't know how to say this in English, when you poop, these are carrying your DNA. You need to understand that. So if these individuals who are trying to block your DNA healing get a hold of these are called elements of your identity, your poop and your pee. Yeah. They put sorcery on elements of your identity, which means on those which you eliminate, but also on those which are in your body already. So this is why you have a lot of sorcery sent to your digestive system. It's sorcery spirits sent on elements of your identity. That's already, as I said, the pee and the poop which is in your body. You didn't eliminate it yet. Yeah. And they cast spirits on it. So because of this, you have to be very worrisome where you go and do these things when you are in this healing. Of course, now ideally God says you need to do this in the nature, so it will go into the ground. You cannot do this everywhere in the nature, because this is crazy. We're in civilized society. You cannot start peeing and pooping everywhere. But you need to be worrisome where you do it, and you need to ask guidance, and sometimes you will have no choice, and this is it, because you cannot hold this forever. You need to do it, but you need to know. So you can include this in your prayers for clearing. You need to ask help for clearing elements of identity and so on. And you need to understand that this is why all these industries of utilities with housing system are connected to these convents, which have access to doing this on your garbage, on your elements of identity, on everything, because this is being used to alter your DNA. Yeah. It seems silly when God said this to me first time was in 2018 about garbage and elements of identity. And I was like, this is crazy. This cannot be God. This is just crazy idea. But I learned that it's true. And I'm sure it's going to sound crazy to you too, but this is true. So you need to understand that you need to check about this with guidance from God. Now, the last few words, because I also don't have memory anymore on the phone. If you get stuck while you're on your journey, while you're on your travel, while you're in your car, especially if you encounter situations, blockages situations, they block you somewhere, or they surround you to ambush you or something, in foreign location especially, or bring people to ambush you, to harass you, to remember, they create a lot of fake situations in order to bring authorities on you and stuff. Remember that this is a timeline which is being activated by them. So people around you will be body jumped by entities involved in that timeline, and embodiments will be placed on them. What does it mean? It means if they activated a timeline on me, for example, if they succeed to activate a timeline on me, an embodiment of me, on me from Nazi time, no matter where I am in the world, everyone that surrounds me, without knowing, already get this activation. So everybody around me gets connected to these voodoo dolls which are involved in that timeline. They get new identities. A spirit is put on them and they become somebody else. Even if normally they shouldn't have been involved in your bondage breaking, now because they met you and these scripts activated a timeline and embodiment on you, automatically they get drawn into this, basically. And people who might be willing to help you or be positive presence in your life, they become evil. Now you have to have discernment and make sure that you ask guidance, because you need to stay calm, use guidance. Sometimes you will be asked to play stupid. God will tell you to just play stupid in order to get help to get out of the situation, because it's a dead end situation and you need to get out of it fast before you lose your awareness. Much will change very quickly. For me, for example, God will say, now you need to get a car and drive, because nobody can drive you, because nobody is at your level. Then shortly after, he would say, no, you cannot get a car because they already created another bondage in which you get a car accident. So now you must get a bus. Everything changes a lot. You need to go there. Then shortly after, God would say, you cannot go there because they already created bondage on you there. They already prepared a group of people to ambush you and to accuse you of stealing, of all sorts of crazy stuff, So everything changes. You need to stay on top. You need to let go of guidance and receive new guidance and adapt to new situations and changes. And you need to be willing to play stupid sometimes. You need to be willing to ask for help. And even if that person thinks that they help you, you might be the one who helps them. It's a very complicated phase, and you need to be focused and be able to move very fast. um, People around you might not be at the same level with you, might not be aware of the same things that you are, might not see all of these, and God will show you that. And you need to not get emotional and carry grudges, because some of them simply don't understand. And you do not need to explain to them, because they don't have the ability to understand at this time. They didn't reach that phase yet. And this is it. Much of the help which is being offered usually is a trap. Be very observant who is giving you help. Um, and I've been offered help, and it's very hard. I can tell you this. It's very hard when I've been offered help that I needed very much at that particular time. When I was in a foreign country, I had no money. I didn't have any car anymore because the car was taken from me. And there were situations in which they offered job, they offered the car to me, offered housing or food, and God would say, you cannot eat this. It was like, I cannot explain how hard it is. I was like, I'm hungry. And God would like, you don't touch it, don't eat it. And I was like, but I didn't eat in so long. God, don't touch it. Don't take the job, don't take the money, don't take this, don't go into the housing, stay on the street. That individual, an embodiment of Nazi officer was put on him. He doesn't even know it. Or he's been sent by the convent specifically to draw you into that. So it's very complicated. It's a lot of trickery, a lot of people evil coming at you, and a lot of innocent people being drawn into it. So you need to be very focused, very flexible and discerning and observant, and be willing to shift and change as God tells you, like in a second, simply because everything changes in a second, literally. It's very intense experience, and now I think it's stopped. Yeah, I hope all of this will help whoever goes through it. Okay.